Hi, I'm Shubham Kotkar. I'm studying civil and environmental engineering, and I'm from India.
Through your studies, what are your long-term goals for your career?
Since I'm studying civil engineering, I would like to work in an infrastructure development sector. So I have a placement next year in the UK, and depending on how it goes, I would like to have again more experience in the UK. But I have planned to do my master's in the United States in project management. So after I graduate, I will go to America to do my master's. And depending on the situation, I'll decide which country I should go and pursue my career in.
Do you wish to pursue a career, or your career, here in the UK or elsewhere?
It actually depends on where my job takes me, but mostly I want to work in developing countries like India and China because there is more scope for civil engineers there, and there's bigger infrastructure development going on there. But I would like to work in the UK because they have really good standards in construction, and I will get to learn a lot from the UK. So I would like to work here for some time.
As you're aware, the UK is holding a referendum which will take place on the 23rd of June over its membership of being in the EU. Are you at all following some of the recent debates or not at all?
Yes, I am following. I'm not following a lot, but I'm trying to keep up with the news and trying to see the perspective of both the British people and the EU people, and see what both of them are getting out of the referendum. They actually hosted a talk in the university. Two of the economic professors, they had a debate on if the UK should leave the EU, and it was really interesting.
Since we are still in the early stages of the referendum, do you think the referendum will impact towards international students in any way?
At present, like I told you before, it doesn't affect me right now if the UK is in EU or not, since I need a visa to go to Schengen region anyways, and the currency is different. So for me, it's going to be same. But if the UK leaves EU and if the pound goes down, it will be beneficial for me now since I have to pay my fees in rupees. But if I start earning here, then it will be bad for me.
Do you believe Indian students will continue to study in the UK? Because if we look at the reputation of British universities such as Oxford, Cambridge, even Cardiff for that matter, which receives a lot of funding from the British government and also from the European Union funds, will those students most likely stay here, or will they go elsewhere in Europe to achieve their education ambitions?
One of the reasons Indian students come to UK is because of the language. We don't have to learn another language. If we want to go to some other European country, we have to learn the language there, or just have the basic knowledge about the language. But there are students who are keen on going to these universities in Europe if they are into research. So they would like to. They will learn and they will go. But most of the students will still keep coming to UK because of the language, and it all depends on the pound, as I said before. It's also about the economic conditions.
Yeah, and at the moment, since the economy is somewhat recovering despite all the setbacks, like what the government has done in the recent cuts with the benefits and also the tuition fees a few years ago that they increased it.
Yeah.
But on paper, the economy is recovering, but what's happening with the referendum could change all that. So it could be good for yourself or probably bad, but we don't know.
We don't know, actually. This is like an experiment. No one knows. Probably the politicians know, but yeah, they will get. It will be good if UK leaves EU, but depends on what way. There will be benefits and there will be cons, of course.
My next question is a business question. According to the statistics, half of the British export in trade goes towards Europe, and all the rest goes to the United States, India, China, and so on and so forth. At the moment, David Cameron is trying to somewhat preserve the economic trade relations with the rest of the EU through his recent reforms in Brussels. But let's just say, for example, if there is a disaster or a deterioration in the relationship between the UK and the rest of the EU, in your opinion, would the UK concentrate more investment with India and China, who are now the next rising superpowers?
Definitely. Since they will, if they leave EU, or like you said, if there are some conditions they have to leave the EU, they will have more choice in the other parts of the world, and mostly in the Asian countries, since they will get the same goods cheaper, and they since there's a big competition there between the countries, they can just negotiate there, and they are not tied to export or import with the European countries here. So since they have more choice, they will start trading more with India and China.
Especially with the recent visits with the Indian Prime Minister visiting the UK, which was more focused on the strong economic ties and how to further that relationship.
Yes, actually, we have a new government now, and they are focusing on the brand India, making in India, and basically making goods, better goods, improving the quality of production, and starting trading with more countries. And this is going to be actually a good turn for us if the UK leaves EU. So we can propose them better deals, and it will be a good opportunity for us.
Through India's long relationship with the UK, do you think India sees the UK as an important partner?
Definitely, they are one of the important partners, but then we have a lot of partners now, because I think India will consider their neighbors as more important partners than the United States. So UK is an important partner, but we have other partners too.
From what I understand, you can't vote in this country, but let's just say if you had the right to vote in the UK, would you vote in the referendum?
Even if I had the right, I don't think I should be voting, because it's up to the British people. It's their future, and they should decide what they want. And if I was living here for a long time, if I was planning to live here more, then I would have thought about voting, because it's going to affect my future. But at present, I'm not sure what my goals are. That's why I think it's not right for me to vote in the UK.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.